Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Monday, Mafia Monday. Let's jump into our story. We're going to pick up right where we left off. We're going scene by scene through all three novels that I wrote about the Los Angeles Syndicate. So let's pick up where we left off. Set your mood right. I got Mr. Snubby ready to rock and roll as usual. Let's jump into it. We're going to pick up right where we left off last week. We were right in the middle of a syndicate meeting where Simon Castro, our main character, he's a brand new syndicate member, just inducted, and he's at his first meeting and he's pitching a major scam to try and make some money. So let's find out if the bosses are going to be into it. Here we go. I said, fellas, we're going to scam the state of California out of billions of dollars. We can skim small amounts of taxpayer money from the government. We'll funnel the payments into a bunch of private contracted agencies that we run. We will easily siphon off a steady stream of cash into our pockets. If one of our phony agencies loses funding for any reason, we shut it down and simply start another one. With the list of people already working within the various levels of government, we can get all of the contracts we need from them. My father stood up, walked over to the window. He gazed down to the streets with the traffic and the noise and thought about my idea for a minute. When he came back to the table, he said, I think we're going to need taxes to be raised throughout the state of California to pay for our skim. Can the governor, Jerry Brown, be bought off? Let's see if we can get him on our payroll and develop a relationship with us, just like the syndicate did with Ronald Reagan when he was governor. We can set up agencies in every area that taxes are raised, making it easy to swoop in and get the contracts. The government will look like they're doing as much as they can to help the state become a better place, and we can all get rich at the same time. Ivan's face lit up and he said, I would love to have access to the governor, but he may want a big cut of the pie. I think this could work without him knowing about it. Those Democrats love to raise taxes all the time anyways. We could simply have our inside people push the budgets in the governor's face, and just like a woman at a department store, he'll start spending money. Diego, the Mexican mafia boss, sat back sipping a glass of water and then finally said, Simon, this is a great plan. As a formality, we always call for a vote on these sort of ideas before we move forward in any way. So I call for a vote right now, and I vote yes. Ivan, the Russian boss, stood up and said, like Diego, I also vote to move forward with this plan. It needs some fine-tuning, but I think this is going to be very good. My father looked around the room and then at me, and he said, yeah, I like it. We'll see how it goes. Diego replied, Mira, amigos, I read the papers, the newspapers every single day. The city and county council meetings are happening next month. The State House and Congress are both back in session in 2 weeks. We need to get on this right now if we want these inside people that we have to push their new budgets to the governor. I said, oh, okay, yeah, then let's activate these inside people immediately and think about setting up these phony contracting firms all over the state. My father said, I didn't know you were this smart, Simon. Don't tell me that you actually studied at USC. I thought all you did was play football and fuck hippie chicks. Diego laughed and replied, this young man is smart like his grandfather. You know, I read somewhere recently that genes actually skip a generation. My father smiled at Diego and then gave him a middle finger in kind of a sweet and sour, playful way. Ivan said, I was worried about you in the first few minutes of the meeting, Simon. I was wondering if you had decided to turn on us all. That security guard in the corner over there, he's a pretty scary looking guy. Who is he anyways? Was he one of Stan's men? He looks Russian, or maybe Ukraine. I said, that's Sally. I don't think he likes Russians. He's a scary son of a bitch, ain't he? Everyone in L.A. should be frightened of him. As my father and Ivan were gathering their paperwork from the table, both giving instructions to their personal assistants, Diego cleared his throat to the herd, causing a mutual groan of annoyance from the two men who were ready to leave. Diego said, before we go, I have an issue I need to bring up in front of the board. I want to annoy Tony again with my usual complaints regarding the police and how they treat my side of town. It is not fair. You have them on the payroll. Isn't that right, Simon? Your father has them on the payroll. Can't we get the family to calm down the cops on the east side? These arrests, these raids, the shakedowns, they cost me a lot of money and they terrorize my people. The police are literally filling the prisons with Mexicans. We get busted on stuff that they let you guys go for. However much it costs, I'll pay for it. Just tell them to calm down on the east side. Ivan replied, your side of town has most of the city's low-level street crimes, and the cops have to make simple arrests in order to keep the community safe. I don't think you can blame this on Tony. I said, I think with some incentive, the chief of police can take the heat off a little bit. Diego was happy to have someone in his corner, but I could tell from his face that he felt that a payoff to one precinct was not going to keep his people from filling the prison system. I was happy to be able to do something, even if it was a weak effort. I stood up to leave, gave Clark a proud smile and a nod of approval for being on top of things during the meeting. I gave Sally a nod, who was grateful to be on the team, and he fell in line behind me. The board members and their personal assistants engaged in small talk as we all filed out of the room and heading back towards our waiting limos downstairs. All right, that's the end of the chapter. Next week, we're going to start chapter 24. Right? Yeah, chapter 24. Thanks for watching.